Well, let's continue our journey and take a closer look once again. Let's figure out how our nervous system works and what the connection is between our organ of vision, our visual system, the vestibular system, and the proprioceptive system of the neck. As we already know, these systems work together. Our neck muscles, our receptors in the neck area, transmit information about the position of the head. Our vestibular organ as well. It is located in our head and it responds to head turns, head tilts, and linear accelerations. For example, when we ride in an elevator or travel by train, we can detect acceleration up and down, forward and backward in different directions. And our eyes, they always function in coordination. That is, our neck turns, our head turns thanks to the powerful neck muscles, and our vestibular organ responds to the movement. At the same time, we can even do this with our eyes closed. We feel the turns, we know exactly where we are looking. But at the same time, our eyes always make the opposite movement. This is the vestibulo-ocular reflex. By the way, it allows us to see clearly while moving. No matter where I go or what I do, my eyes are always looking at you. My eyes stay focused on the target when I'm driving a car, and so on. Our task is to create conditions where all three systems work efficiently and send identical information to our brain. We have already taken the first steps toward relaxation of the neck. And let's talk once again, in this particular part, about how to properly perform exercises to help mobilize the cervical spine and also do some simple vestibular techniques. So, now let's move on to some simple and straightforward exercises that will help improve our coordination between the visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive systems, particularly for the neck. We have already performed some simple techniques. Let's continue improving the quality of movement in our cervical spine. What can our neck do? What is important for vestibular exercises? First of all, it can rotate, it can tilt, it can move forward and backward, and it can move to the sides. Let's start with some very simple movements. First, you can stimulate your neck with your hands by doing a light massage. And we move along the front surface from top to bottom. And also, in the area of the occipital bumps, for example, we gently massage the back area of the head. Next, let's imagine that our head and neck move as a single unit. That is, instead of turning just your head as you're used to, you now turn your head and neck together, moving them as a unit from the base. You can actually feel this area on yourself. It's called C7, the seventh cervical vertebra, which is the part that sticks out when you bend over. Your task is to imagine that the rotation happens exactly from this area. Let's start with simple turns. To the left, to the right. So I'm turning both my neck and my head, and I feel the tension. It's a bit different from what you're used to. Left, right, left. Right. 5 repetitions to each side will be quite enough. Next, we do tilts, and we try to tilt not simply the head, but the entire length of your neck, as if I'm really trying to reach my shoulder with my ear. Imagine a fence that I'm gently leaning over, almost as if I'm stretching to see something on the other side. Here, like an arch. My task is to perform actions and movements, such as those that are similar to an arch. To the left and now just over to the right. If you feel pain or discomfort, don't push yourself to an unpleasant state. Check your neck and very carefully turn your head left and right, remembering the sensations and the range of motion. We'll check this again later. Next, we'll do a forward and backward head movement. These are called protraction and retraction. Forward, backward. Imagine your head is resting comfortably on a table or gently moving like a drawer sliding in and out of a cabinet. Forward, backward. Forward, backward. Whenever I move my head backward, I always make sure that I do not arch my neck at all, keeping it straight and relaxed. I lower my nose slightly downward and move the back of my head backward. We can slightly change the speed of the movement. It can be slow at first, or perhaps it can be fast. You can also use a resistance band, which is a piece of exercise equipment that creates resistance when you use it. And this is a very good workout for the muscles you need to help get rid of computer neck or forward head posture. Next, as we've already established, our head can turn and can tilt, and we combine these movements. First, we gently turn our head to the left or to the right. And in this position, we also do protraction and retraction, forward, back, forward, back. 3 to 5 repetitions will be quite enough. Other side, forward, back. Again, 3 to 5 repetitions. The next combination is a head tilt. And the same thing, forward and back. I can hold my rib cage so that my body doesn't move along with my head. It's important to learn how to move your neck separately from your body. Do the same thing to the other side, and again 3 repetitions, 3 to 5 repetitions. And the next movement that we are going to do is called a side shift. If I take my index fingers, just like this, place them gently on the sides of my nose, and then move them slowly to the side, spreading them apart by about 1 centimeter or so. I should also make sure to press my cheek firmly against my finger as I do this movement. Imagine you want to gently press your ear carefully against the wall. Don't turn your head left or right. You can also do combinations. Everything is done 3 to 5 times. And remember what other movements exist. You can progress. You can turn your head to the left or right. Let's turn to the right. And do the same side shift to the left and right. This is much harder, it's an unusual movement. And again, I turned my head and also moved left and right. You can record yourself on video and see how well you're doing it. You can use a tilt. And do the same thing. Ear to the right, ear to the left. Tilt to the other side. Bend your neck to the left and right. And now, let's carefully combine all of the movements that we've gone over so far. Forward, then to the side, back, and then to the other side. We'll make a square. Forward to the side, then back to the other side, a square movement. Now, let's try it in the other direction as well. Gradually, you make it more complex. You start with simple linear movements. Forward and back, 3 to 5 repetitions. Next, you use combinations of neck and head movements. For example, turning, as well as forward, backward, and left, right. And then you begin performing various shapes. First a square, then a circle. In one direction, then in the other. 3 repetitions will be quite enough. And you can make it as complex as you want. We can gently tilt our head to the left. Turn it slowly to the right, and in this position, make a circle with the neck. In one direction, then in the other. After that, assess how you feel once again. Turn your head left and right and compare the level of tension you had before with what you feel now. We finished with the neck. Our brain now understands the position of the head and neck a little better. Accordingly, we can move on. And the next step in this process is to do some eye movements. When we turn our head, our eyes also move, but in the opposite direction. Most often, we turn our head to look at something specific. This coordination between our head and our eyes is very important. When we're walking down the street, we can, by the way, turn our head together with our eyes. This is called cancellation of the vestibulo-ocular reflex. But in a normal state, when we're not thinking about it, our eyes are always fixed on the target, and this is called the vestibulo-ocular reflex. No matter which way we turn our head, our eyes remain fixed on the target. Now we'll do a preparatory exercise for the eyes, so that first and foremost our eyes can perform the necessary movements. What kind of movements are these? Most often these are horizontal movements or smooth pursuits. Sometimes for people who are starting vestibular exercises, the exercises themselves can cause sensations that aren't always pleasant. There's no need to be afraid of this. That's why we simply start by working with the eyes. First, we'll do an exercise for the eyes, and only then will we engage the vestibular system. You can use your finger, any finger if you prefer. You can use a pen. I use the pencil, or a pen with some letters written on it. It's simply there, so you can more easily focus your eyes on a specific target. It can be any office pen, or it can be your finger. Why not? There's absolutely no difference here. The head doesn't move. It's very important that it stays still. At first I hold it in place with one finger for stability while I work, that's necessary. And simply, by focusing on the target in front of you, at arm's length, I start moving the target first to the left and right. To the right. Don't move the target too far, instead maintain the range of motion within shoulder width, making sure to stay within this comfortable distance. Because otherwise, one eye will lose sight of the target. We move to the right, we move to the left, right, left. For many people who are just starting this type of exercise, the head turns along with the eyes, meaning it's not always. People aren't always able to easily and consciously separate eye movement from head movement, and this is also one of the main reasons why we often experience tension or discomfort. There isn't always proper or efficient work of the oculomotor muscles, but the good news is that we can train and strengthen them as well. Right, left, right, left. I'll do 10 repetitions right now. Without turning my head. I can speed up if needed, or I can slow down as well. We can also change the distance between us and the target. If you don't see very well, or if your vision is poor, we can always hold the target a little bit closer to you, and we can use different formats to help you see better. Diagonals. On the right, the target is quite far away. I now move it over to the left and bring it much closer. We can use another diagonal as well. And you can also do a vertical movement. Without moving your head, that is, in this case, our head does not move. I look at the target, move it up, move it down. Ten repetitions. And so on. And you can also, for example, do diagonals in front of you. I'll show it just 3 times, but you should do up to 10 repetitions. The other side. Do the exercise. Compare the sensations in your eyes. For example, when my eyes are somewhere to the right, I feel completely comfortable. When I look up to the left, I feel a slight tension in the eye muscles. There's nothing terrible about that. It's just that the left and right sides are different. So let's do 10 repetitions. What directions of movement are there? There's horizontal, which is moving side to side, vertical, which is moving up and down, and diagonal, which is moving at an angle, combining both directions. First of all, this exercise helps to restore the normal, healthy muscle tone of our eyes, specifically the oculomotor muscles. Secondly, it gently prepares our eyes and the entire visual system for more complex and challenging exercises that involve vestibular stimulation. Overall, it's a truly wonderful, remarkably simple exercise that will gently relax the oculomotor muscles and improve the functioning of the vestibular and proprioceptive systems. And it will help you experience less tension or fewer unpleasant sensations when moving your head or your body in space. Do it. About 5 minutes on average throughout the day. Altogether, that will be more than enough. And do short intervals, for example, 1 minute every hour. It only takes about 1 to 2 minutes to complete all these movements, perform all these movements. After working at the computer for a long time, I highly recommend this exercise. Also, exercises for the neck muscles and exercises for the eye muscles are the first steps toward improving our well-being.